Tell me a little bit about maybe your mindset behind taking care of customers, because even though I call it like in the future and we have all this technology and we have social media, I kid these days with clients that I talk to that are successful. And I said, I think the skill of the future is going to be communication and people skills. And, we have all this technology, we have email, we have the internet, we have websites. Even some of my clients don't want to talk on the phone. And so it's funny because a phone is so simple. And now we have Google Hangouts, and right now we're on Zoom, where you and I can have a conversation just like you're right next to me. But talk about the importance of giving a customer value for a service, communication, and what do you think are some of the aspects that can take one customer and turn it into 100?
Well, for one thing, you have to do more than what you say you will do. Anybody can clean, but if you take it one step further and do a little bit more, but communicate what you're doing to your customers. Let them know that, hey, while I was there, I did this little extra thing. I noticed somebody dumped a tire in front of the waste dumpster, and I tossed it in for you. Things like that. Communication is so key. It helps cement that business relationship, and they're more likely to want to continue doing business with you if they get that regular communication. And you mentioned about phones. I mean, if you don't like to talk, there's texting. And I'll give you another really good example of how a phone comes in so handy now. If a person is out cleaning up, for example, if I'm cleaning one of my properties and I notice in the parking lot a stop sign got run over, and it's laying on the ground, and it could be a trip and fall hazard for maybe somebody not watching the steps, they trip on it, or maybe a vehicle could drive over it and cause damage to it. Property managers, property owners don't want any sort of liabilities or lawsuits. But if you take out your phone and you take a picture and then you text it to your customer, they know exactly what you're talking about, without you having to speak to them, basically, if that's not what you want to do. And you attach the text as to, here's the stop sign knocked down at this point in the property, and, the name of the property, and send that to them. They love you for that, because,
Yeah.
like I said, you're saving them from potential liability issues, but they want to get somebody out there to repair the damage as soon as possible before something happens. Or, the worst thing to them is for them to get an angry phone call from one of their tenants. Like, hey, you know what? There's been
Right.
graffiti on the wall or in front of my store for 3 days. Why isn't anybody coming out to address it? So, you can't have the attitude that, that's not my responsibility. You know what? If you're there and it's no skin off your back, if you notice that, and it just takes a couple of seconds just to communicate those issues.
I think an idea